Every golfer at every level has felt the minor aches and deep scars that the game can inflict. There is no doubt that golf has a unique ability to turn men red. In this video, we're going to discuss 10 all-time golf tantrums from Rory McIlroy, Phil Mickelson, and Thomas Pieters that inspired us to compile those golf tantrums and more. Anyone doubting this doesn't have to look too far into the recent past for a great example. Consider Mr. McIlroy's abrupt departure from the Honda Classic. King George V of the United Kingdom once quipped, "Golf always makes me so damned angry." Of course, he added, "Always go to the toilet when you have the chance." A clever king indeed. In a suitable follow-up to my previous piece, the 8 best club throws in golf history, Tiger, Sergio, and their pals go back to cursing and flinging clubs. Here are the top 10 PGA Tour golfers who have struggled to contain the rage His Majesty mentioned. Oberholser, Aaron, 1 of 10. In his early years on tour, the 2006 AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am champion was known for being a bit of a hothead, but he has mellowed significantly with age. Follow the San Jose State alum on Twitter for a few days if you think he's completely toned things down. A famous Oberholser outburst is summarized in John Stregg's 2005 story in Golf World. Poppy Hills, 18th hole, opening round of the 2005 AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. A faulty swing and a buried lie under a cardboard garbage receptacle affixed to a gallery rope holding post, whose idea was that, set off a chain reaction that resembled Oberholser's persona in microcosm. "There's only one rough on the course, and I found it," he explained. He yanked the post out of the ground, tossed it aside, kicked it, cursed himself, cursed his misfortune. Kevin Stadler, 2 of 10. Kevin Stadler, number 9 on our list, has clearly inherited his father's temper. There are numerous anecdotes of Stadler the Younger's fury, but this one, reported at last year's AT&T National by Golf WRX forum member Lefty94, is a perfect example. "I'm on 6th green at the AT&T National, par 5. The group is putting on the green. Stadler's group is at the rear. While they're putting, Stadler hits into them about 50 yards short of the green. He walks ahead of the rest of his party. As soon as the group in front of him walks off the green, he putts from around 50 yards away and isn't even near. He walks onto the green and immediately begins putting. 3 putts without thinking and walks off the green. His teammates are still on the fairway. He storms off the green and walks alongside 7. The issue was that the other group was still teeing off." Henrik Stenson, 3 of 10. At the 2011 U.S. Open, the deep-sea fishing enthusiast, according to his official PGA Tour bio, famously split his club in half in the middle of the fairway in an act of He-Man strength. Even though the club was probably already about to break, given the relative lack of ferocity with which Stenson pounded it into the ground, it was still a display of the Swede's temper. Stenson admitted last year that he has a temper. He does, in fact. See this video, which has an appropriate title that I am unable to repeat here, or his renowned over-the-shoulder wedge throw. Kevin Na, 4 of 10. Kevin Na has the distinction of being both a player with a terrible temper and one who could easily incite others to lose theirs due to his distinctively slow play and peculiar reluctance to hit the trigger. If you're not familiar, check out this video.
Where are you going to go with it? I can hit this. It's got to get on the green. Yeah, but over the green is dead. It's not going to go over the green, Kenny.
He frequently throws tantrums when playing, and despite being one of the PGA Tour's slower players, he frequently loses his cool when given a time limit for playing slowly. Na most recently displayed this behavior at Colonial last year, where inept authorities had the right to ask him to hurry up the pace. When all of this is considered, it becomes clear why Na's astounding 16 at the Valero Texas Open in 2011 received so little sympathy. Woody Austin, 5 of 10. There are numerous things you can say about Woody Austin, who came in 5th. To portray the notion more poetically than this incident at the 1997 Verizon Heritage, though, would require a lot greater writer than I.
1997 and just beat the living. There you go.
Tiger Woods, 6 of 10. There used to be a myth that Tiger Woods was just a jerk-like character. that Tiger wasn't really a bad guy despite his propensity for blowing snot rockets, spitting, swearing, throwing clubs, and giving incredibly curt press conference responses. The truth was that he was just a very wary and private man who had been wounded by the media in the past. Michael Jordan had taught him how to be the perfect corporate athlete, and he had an unquenchable drive to become the greatest golfer who has ever lived. This has mostly been debunked in recent years by a number of clear examples that I won't spend your time reiterating. Sergio Garcia, 7 of 10. To beat Tiger Woods on this list in terms of temper tantrum inventiveness, serious strides must be made. Thankfully, Sergio Garcia and 3 other players possess that attribute in plenty. The frequently incensed Spaniard has engaged in behavior on the course that should have resulted in a lengthy timeout. Several instances include his puzzling choice to spit in the cup after retrieving his ball, this infamous club throw, and this bunker abuse. At the 1999 Players' Championship, El Neo did the most absurd thing, and I believe set a golfing record, by tossing his shoe into the crowd and then giving it a convincing left-footed boot for good measure. Who tosses a shoe, in the classic words of Austin Powers? John Daly, 8 of 10. One of the more controversial and colorful characters on the professional golf circuit for a long time has been John Daly. He physically stands out among the more colorful players, traversing the PGA Tour fairways in his signature loudmouth golf pants. One day, Long John grabbed a bystander's camera and slammed it against a tree. Additionally, the Australian Open in 2011 saw the Arkansas resident, who had previously abruptly left Kapalua in 1993, hit 7 balls into the water and leave the course. He takes 3rd place because he's the only professional golfer with a mullet who likes to leave the course. Rory Sabatini, 9 of 10. Rory Sabatini, who is the least popular player among the fans, comes in 2nd place on the list. You'll probably hear a lot more about the illustrious Sabo in the coming future because the South African's recently divorced wife appears determined to bash her ex-husband. Sabo prefers to hurl insults rather than clubs. He mostly directs his verbal arrows at other players, but he occasionally lashes out at other dangerous targets, such as volunteers who are attempting to assist. Several years ago, when a ShotLink volunteer marked the spot where Sabatini's ball had landed in the rough with a drink can, Sabatini flipped his silly cowboy hat. He reportedly lost his cool and threw his belt to the ground after becoming upset. Well done. Pat Perez, 10 of 10. What is the worst incident that has occurred at a golf tournament as a result of the other players on this list losing their cool? Eyebrows furrowed? Fines? Displeased looks? A wedge in the water? A suffering bunker? The intangible harm to the game's reputation. Even worse than all of the aforementioned, Pat Perez's rage caused kids to cry at the 2011 Reno Tahoe Open. Top of the list goes to Double P for blowing off autograph-seeking kids and storming off the golf course in a rage. Golfer meltdowns, outbursts, and temper tantrums. Barker versus Gilmore. Unpopular viewpoint. The Price is Right host deserved what happened. You don't behave that way toward a partner.
You are at golf.
All right, let's go.
Oh! You like that, old man?
Henny Otto's 6-putt. Although the South African has 3 victories on the European Tour, his 6-putt from 15 feet at the 2005 Nashua Masters is more likely to stick in people's minds.
In Europe, where they sort of go with all different types of greens. And Henny Otto, not having the best of times, should we count that as...
John Daly at Pinehurst. Undoubtedly, this topic could be the focus of an entire Long John gallery. The first emotional blunder that springs to mind is Daly's antics during the 1999 US Open when he struck a moving ball out of irritation. Jack Nicholson. Although he appears cool-headed in movies, Jack was anything but cool when he was abruptly cut off in traffic in 1994, smashing his club into the offender's windshield. He explained to Golf Digest in 2007 that while en route to the course, he somehow knew what I was doing because he reached into his trunk and specifically chose a club that he never used on the course, his 2-iron. Tommy Bolt's career. Bolt's ferocious pranks earned him the moniker Thunder and Terrible Tommy. He helmed clubs so frequently that when he didn't have an outburst, it made the headlines. A Tommy Bolt rule was eventually implemented by the circuit regarding club flinging. First felon under the law? Bolt, who stated in 2002 to Golf Digest, "People enjoy watching a man suffer. I frequently threw clubs because of this. They enjoy watching someone lose to golf, so I was more than pleased to do it for them." Bubba Watson yells at caddy. Bubba has somewhat calmed down as he's gotten older, but many people still recall Watson berating his caddy at the Travelers Championship after the caddy put one in the water. The incident received so much backlash that a Twitter movement. Bobby in the bunker. Bobby Knight's golf outtakes is at the very least one of the two finest things the internet has ever created. What are your thoughts on the topic? Please express your thoughts in the comments section below. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked today's video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to receive the most recent content as soon as it's released. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again in another video.